Now, I have the honor to welcome your next senator from South Dakota, my friend Julian Beaudion.
Can we keep that music playing for a little bit? Can we play it for a little bit longer? Because ain't no stopping us now. We are Democrats in South Dakota. Let's hear it. There we go. We need some energy. Let's go. South Dakota Democrats, how we doing, baby? Listen, thank you for being here tonight. I want to give a special thank you to President Biden. I want to thank, yes, please. I want to thank him for his dedication to our country and for coming to our state and supporting the work that we are doing to turn South Dakota blue. I am also proud to announce that today our campaign was endorsed proudly by President Biden. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for believing that politics can still be about people. And thank you for carrying forward the legacy of a man whose name is on this dinner tonight. A man who taught us that leadership is not about telling people what they want to hear, but about telling people the truth, even when it costs you. I'm reminded of Senator George McGovern's words in '72, when he said that truth is the habit of integrity, not a strategy of politics. And if we nurture the habit of truth in this campaign, we will continue to be truthful as we serve. He understood that service must start with truth, and that patriotism is not blind loyalty. Patriotism is loving your country enough to challenge it when it falls short of its ideals. Every generation gets its moment to stand for justice. There was a moment on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and we talk about that bridge. When we do, we remember the giants, folks like John Lewis. But that bridge was not crossed by leaders alone. That bridge was crossed by teachers, by pastors, by students, veterans, and workers. Black Americans crossed that bridge knowing that they could be beaten. White Americans crossed that bridge knowing that if they stood side by side with their neighbors, they could be hated for the rest of their lives. They came from all different backgrounds, different faiths, different experiences, but they all carried one thing: courage. And what made that movement so powerful was not perfection. It was participation. Ordinary people deciding that democracy is worth fighting for, that human dignity is worth fighting for, that our freedom is worth fighting for. And now, here we are again. Another moment, another test, another generation being asked, what are you willing to stand for? Because democracy is not inherently automatic, and freedom is definitely not free. Every generation has the responsibility to defend it. Every generation has to decide whether we move closer to justice or whether we slide backward into fear. And friends, I know you are tired. I am too. I'm tired of the division. I'm tired of the anger. I'm tired of billionaires who have a louder voice in our country than working class people. I am tired of wondering if government still works for us, the people. Look, I've spent the last year of this campaign traveling the state. I've sat at kitchen tables, I've met with farmers, I've listened to tribal leaders and talked with veterans. I have spoken to parents worried about how they are going to pay for their groceries, their light bill, their child care, their health care. And what I hear is not a demand for special treatment, but what I hear is a demand to be seen, a demand to be heard, and a demand to be represented. The people of South Dakota are asking for leadership that shows up, leadership that listens, leadership that remembers who the government is supposed to serve. Not just the wealthy, not just the connected, but all of us. And that means having the courage to tell the difficult truths. That's why I am fighting for family farms, because they deserve trade policies that strengthen instead of treat them like collateral damage. That's why I will fight for our Department of Education not to dismantle it, because every child deserves quality education no matter if they live in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, Winter, or Pine Ridge. I will fight for universal health care to ensure that every corner of this state is covered and has access to affordable health care. Fighting for human rights is part of our duty. But the truth is, human rights don't stop at our borders. We have a moral responsibility to extend that same dedication towards our foreign policy as well. Friends, I believe deeply in Israel's right to exist as a nation. I believe deeply that every Israeli child deserves safety, and I believe just as deeply that every Palestinian child deserves safety, and Netanyahu's genocide on Gaza must be stopped. When thousands of innocent civilians are killed, when entire communities are devastated, when children become casualties of war, we will not look away. That must be true for every genocide across this globe. We will not be silent because the politics are difficult. We will not measure humans by their nationality. We will not measure them by their religion. We will not measure them by their geography. Because the values that brought us into this party demand more from us. Those are the values of justice, the values of equity, the values of human dignity. And if we believe those values belong to everyone, then they must apply to everyone. Not when it's convenient, not when it's politically safe, but always. That doesn't make us disloyal. It makes us accountable. And accountability has always been the foundation of progress. The Democratic Party has never moved forward because we were perfect. We moved forward because people inside this party demanded better of this party. Workers have demanded it. Women have demanded it. Civil rights leaders have demanded it. Young people have demanded it. And now another generation is demanding it too. Not because they hate America, not because they hate this party, but because they believe that we can be better than we are today. And I believe that too. That's the spirit of this campaign. That's the hope that this campaign carries forward. Hope is not weakness. Hope is resistance. Hope is resistance. Believing in democracy is resistance. Believing in our neighbors is resistance. Choosing courage over fear is resistance. Look, John Lewis talked about getting into good trouble. Well, friends, this is our moment to get into some good trouble. This is our moment. It's our moment to defend democracy. This is our moment to defend our freedom. This is our moment to defend the dignity of every human being across this globe. And this is our moment to remember that real change never comes from political leaders, but it comes from the people. Comes from ordinary people, brave, determined people. People willing to make one phone call, one donation, have one conversation, give us one vote, especially in November. And most importantly, give us one act of courage at a time. That is how America changes. That's how South Dakota changes. That is how history is made. So tonight, I'm asking you to walk with me. Walk with me across this next bridge in American history. Not because I have all the answers, not because any one person can solve every problem, but because together, the people still and always will have the power. We have the power to organize, we have the power to build, and we have the power to hope. I believe that the power to change this country is in the hands of the people. And if you believe that too, let me hear you say, I believe. If you believe that South Dakota deserves leadership that listens, let me hear you say, I believe. And if you believe that our freedoms are worth fighting for, let me hear you say, I believe. I believe that this is our moment, and if you believe that this is our moment, let me hear you say, I believe. Thank you, South Dakota Democrats. May God bless you, and may God bless the great state of South Dakota.